Vanessa.
Hey.
For your ass right there. I'm Ash.
And I'm Fatima.
This is
Tash.
And for context, I'm not. Let me stop sharing. I I'm talking about Chicago and the justification for the women of Cell Block Tango, killing their partners. Um, Velma Kelly walking in on her husband and sister as they were part of like a 3-man act, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Was her sister her twin?
I don't know if she was her twin, but I know that she was her sister and it was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the appeal of their act was like their synchronicity and all of that. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't clear if she was a twin or not, but it is clear that her husband was practicing the spread eagle with her sister in the time it took for her to go get a bucket of ice. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so like I say always there be instances where it's like a person's partner cheats on them with like a family member, and it's like that is such a hard place to be in because like one is family and one is
Yeah,
someone that you brought
because
into your family,
but
so it's like
also it always extra hurts when like they cheat with somebody that you would have gone to talk to about the
mm-hmm,
cheating. So now
mm-hmm. Let alone just someone that you trust and love, or at least
yeah.
you thought you trusted. So like,
And you thought they loved you back?
right,
Mm,
like why would
yeah.
you know that's my husband. There's no confusion. This is not us both in the club, both got our eye on the same dude, and it's, every man for themselves, whoever he picks, that's the victor. I have a ring, bitch. You know that's my man. And you know that's my sister. So I think while the betrayal would be worse coming from my sister, I'd probably kill the husband. Like, I wouldn't kill them both. I wouldn't kill them both. But I
What if
beat the
this
shit out of my
wasn't
sister.
what if this wasn't the first time that she did something like this to you? Like what if
Oh.
she had a history of doing this like back in high school?
Ooh. Okay, well then I see why she would kill him,
Like
because
that's kind of her thing.
it goes back to that straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, she's overlooked
Right.
it all these times before, because before they were just boyfriends, just whatever, and she could even almost like sweep it under the rug. It's like these men weren't good anyway if they were going to go after my sister, especially
Mhm.
if the sister spins it. It's
Mhm.
like they came on to me. Da, 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 da.
All right.
I have a ring. So in that regard, that is me saying I trust this man wholeheartedly with my heart at that. So I know he's a good man because I've decided to marry him. So anything that were to happen after the fact, even if I had suspicions that my sister was on some shit, this would confirm it. Of like, you've corrupted even the nigga I deemed as the most loyal ever in my life. I know I shouldn't have trusted you all them years ago. You've got to die. And the fact that she killed them and then went on stage and performed, yo said the show must go on. And then got arrested right after she finished performing.
At least they let her finish. I like the respect for the art.
Well, I think they just happened to pull up as she was finishing. That was the thing. Because she saw them from the stage. She's like, oh, shit. Well, I did what I came to do. Lock me up. Yeah, that movie's good, though. I'd still need to see it on actual stage. But the performances are just so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I
We
need to
both
watch it again.
reach for the gun and all that.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
I still randomly will just say, give him the old razzle dazzle, razzle dazzle. Oh man, or Queen Latifah as Mama
Yeah.
Morton.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm gonna sing it at karaoke one day.
Ooh.
Yeah, when you're good to mama. I think I'm gonna sing that at yeah, if my office does another karaoke night, I'll probably sing some show tunes because they're so fun. Anywho, so what you been up to?
Okay, so did I tell you that a couple months ago, Dad and I started watching telenovelas?
Yes.
Okay, so first we watched one that took place in like Colombia in like 1850s or something like that. It's like
Mhm.
during their revolution. And that was good. Really sad, but it was good. Then because one of the main actors in that, we recognized him in this other one that is more modern, but it still takes place like 2009, 2008 around there.
Oh, was that the one where your dad thought it was like a fast forward or something, or it was like the same character?
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
can't remember.
But
Okay,
yeah, it was, but like this was, well, it was a totally different premise. So like one is like during like the, revolution to get out from under the rule of Spain,
Mhm.
their fight for independence, which, oh, so hard to see the black people also fighting on the side of revolution, knowing that they won't be free until 40 years after, because like that's what they were promised. They were all
Are
promised
we
freedom.
really free though?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Comparatively, yes.
yes, especially right now.
Comparatively.
Like that's a thing that's being, rights being stripped away one by one. But like, we're talking about the telenovelas right now. But okay, so this one takes place 2009, and it's called like Mafia Dolls, and it's about these women that get with these like drug kingpins, and they have like all of this money. So it was really, really interesting and really good to see, especially given like their perspective, because a lot of these like narco type dramas are centered on the men and not so much the women.
It's like Real Housewives of cartels.
Yes, but also like one of them got tricked into thinking that she was married, and she was not.
Ew.
Like she kept saying she really wanted to get married. She wanted the protections that marriage offers, and he tricked her. Like he just he got one of his boys like cousins and hooked him up and gave him a fancy suit, and he officiated the wedding. He was a priest. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that was real messed up.
Well, speaking of,
But it was nice to see them like she was at one point she was like asking her kingpin for money, and she was like, I need some money for my parents because they're struggling with their business, blah 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 blah. He was like, how much you need? He was like, and she was like this. And my dad was like, what's that mean? I was like, she want a stack of cash this big.
wow.
All hundreds.
Ooh.
USD. Yeah. Yeah. It was cool.
Is it over, or you're still y'all are
we
still
okay,
watching
so
it?
we finished, okay, because they say season 1, season 2. Season 2 is like 10 years in the future, and some of the actors for the characters have changed. Actually, it's just one, but it's one major one. It was our favorite character, and she's being played by a different actress now, and we're just kind of like, we don't like the new Brenda. No, thank you. I don't know if we're gonna stick with this one. Also, the tone has changed. Like that's the thing
In a good way?
about. Well, no, I don't think so, because
Um,
in like the previous telenovela and this one that we just watched, and a lot of like Asian dramas, Like some Americans complain about like the sharp tonal shifts, like something funny will be happening and then suddenly things will get serious, like haha, you didn't know your marriage was real, but oh, he did give you a gift and he was hiding that gift from the DEA when he got arrested, so like now you're getting arrested also for 8 years. And like that sharp tonal shift is like, some Americans complain about that, but I like that shit because I think that is how life is, because sometimes like funny things can be happening and then something very serious does also like come with it, and it's just one thing right after the other.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like it's a balancing act when it comes to movies and TV shows, where it's like you want to be relatable but you don't want to be too realistic to real life. It's like a more manicured view of the insanity and spontaneity that is life. It's kind of how how I'll watch real court proceedings and then watch SVU, and I'm like, oh wow, they're not nearly as compelling in real life as on SVU. Like their arguments don't flow as well. It's not like a speech. It's very much like a person giving a presentation and people just arguing, and it's boring. Which side note, I might have to be a fucking jury.
Oh, really?
I got jury duty.
Sorry to hear that.
No one wants fucking jury duty. Like, you don't get paid for it. They don't feed you, from the sounds of that fucking letter I got. And I'm on standby. I'm on standby jury duty at that. So I don't even know if I have to report in until the evening before. And I don't know how long I'll be a juror. It just depends on the case. I swear to God, if it's R. Kelly, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Well, do you know what kind of case it is?
No, you never know what kind of case it is. I think that's part of the reason I'm on standby, like in case they need another juror. Yeah. Because I think they still interview you to like see if you would have any kind of biases in favor or against the client, depending on whose side they are interviewing jurors for. They look for certain biases that could work in their favor or might work against them. So I could be dismissed just based on how I answer certain questions. Which good shit. Let me go home. But yeah, so seeing those tonal shifts in TV shows, it's interesting because, like, on the one hand, it might not resonate with people because it hits too close to real life, and then for others, if they don't have any like experience with them, it might not resonate with them because it takes them out the story. It's like, okay, I'm watching because it's dramatic now. Why is there now this comedic part? I'm trying to be in the moment of this drama and tears. I don't want that interrupted right now, like, because the timing is important too. Yeah, you don't want it to be dramatic and then all of a sudden some slapstick. Like, depending on the scene playing out, that could be levity in a good way, or it could be jarring. So it all just depends on the scene and the direction, for sure. Well, I like that you watch telenovelas and dramas with your dad more than like your mom. Like, your mom's like, I want to see something get blown up, and your dad's like, but the period drama.
Well, Dad likes history, so anything that's got like some kind of historical basis, even if it's like fictional history or whatever, it's fine. But yeah, like once we started watching it, I did start to notice like things in like the news. Like there was like, I forget which country it was, but there were like, it was like a couple weeks ago, like there was like 2 tons of cocaine found.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit. It's like in the telenovela. Yeah. And it helps to give some context to like things that are happening in areas of the world that you might not have thought about before. Yeah. especially like I was unaware of like what kind of stuff goes on in Colombia because I wasn't sitting up here thinking about Colombia.
Yeah, most people aren't unless you got some kind of connection to it.
Right. But then once you watch it, it's like it's really compelling.
Mm.
Especially when we were watching like that one that took place in 1850, they had like they have different relationship to the transatlantic slave trade than we do. So like you have black
Mhm.
people walking around and some of them are free and some of them are slaves and like even if you're free, you're getting harassed and whatnot.
Yeah.
But one of those characters, my dad was like looking at her, was like, wow, she looks just like my grandmother. Like, it's like, that's interesting. Somebody looks
Yeah,
like
and
your grandmother on so far away.
in general, watching shows from other cultures is just a way to explore a culture that you probably won't ever get to experience firsthand. You
Yeah,
know,
but
depending
from a
on how
safe
far it
distance.
is,
Yeah.
from a safe difference. I mean, you still got to watch with like that notion that this is oftentimes fiction.
Right. Right.
So the way things are displayed are not actually how things would be with real life people on the street.
Hmm.
But it's like compared to other countries where like I hear so often about people from other countries learning how to speak English because they watch the American shows that would
Right.
air in their country. And a lot of them would think that like, oh, that's how it is in America. And then they get to America and they're like, it seems like how it was on Friends or stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
But
we're so much like uglier than
right.
the people on
It's
TV.
often worse than what's depicted.
We are
Or
ugly and
this,
broke.
you know, but and I think how like, man, I wish we had more other cultured shows to have access to and watch. I mean, if you had Telemundo, then you could watch at least some of the telenovelas, and that could be a way of like at least learning a little bit more about Spanish culture. But like having more stuff from like China or Korea, like stuff
Yeah.
like that, I think would have been really cool to experience growing up. As it is now, it's like my main source as a kid was like watching anime and just gleaming little things about Japanese culture from those shows that were already just fictionalized the hell. Like, you know, there was so
Mhm.
many elements about it that were not even something that would happen in actual Japanese society, but like you pick up on little things like how people greet each other, how they talk to each other, certain foods, what they do for breakfast, how school is. Like seeing that they never switched classrooms was wild to me. I'm like, you're in
Mhm.
high school and you don't have to go to 5 different classrooms for math and science. Like the kids are running schools. They are or not running the schools, but the classroom. Like the
Yeah, they have to
teachers,
clean up behind
they
themselves.
clean
They have
up,
to.
they serve lunch every now and then. There might be like a food truck or something, and then you gotta rush to try to get the food because they sell out fast. It was funny. It was one anime I watched where a Japanese student had lived in LA for a good chunk of his early life, and he came back to Japan in high school, and he was still getting used to some of like the Japanese stuff. So like when he saw lunchtime and people were like stampeding to get bread and shit, he's like, "Oh my god, it's the Japanese school lunch I've heard so much about." Like, okay, so this is something that will be happening in Japan. This isn't just goofy for the sake of anime, but yeah, so it's fun to just fun and informative to see other cultures and like be able to compare it even when it comes to like black people. So like you said, like how the transatlantic slave trade was received in other countries outside of America.
Right.
Completely different, just in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's been interesting. So like now we're on season 2, but I don't know if we're gonna stick with it because like I said, our fave is gone, and like the main dude is in jail. Like the series ended with him getting 30 years. Like at least 30 years. Because like they told him he was gonna get 30. Our favorite character tried to make a deal with somebody to get him 15, but he was like, no, don't snitch, don't snitch. You know, we about that life, don't snitch. So then she didn't snitch. Anybody she was thinking about snitching on died anyway. So if she had made the deal, he just would have got 15 years off of his sentence. He tried to do a prison break, and which of course, and it didn't work, so it of course added to his sentence, presumably. Now we've like skipped ahead just looking at the descriptions, and it looks like he's somehow out and about. I don't know how that comes about. You got 30 years.
Watch to find out. Maybe he did do a prison break.
Huh?
So
Maybe he did a success. Well, I don't know. If you can't break out a Colombian prison, how you gonna break out a maximum security U.S. prison? I don't see it for you.
I don't know, bribe some people, get a good lawyer.
Oh, well, okay. Mike has a good idea. He snitched. He said all that shit before he had actually been extradited to the U.S. and ended up in U.S. prison. And now he about to. I don't know. I don't know who's left to snitch on, because so many people died at the end. It was a bloody
part
end.
of it too, as far as like America is concerned, they just want information to take down people. They don't care if they're dead. There's still vital information they could use to just take down the cartel.
Yeah, he probably knows stuff about like the infrastructure of like how
informant, like Mike said.
Yeah,
that's a lot of them.
Because definitely somebody else has stepped into that power vacuum, given that at the end of season 1, like he went to jail, the dude under him got killed, and his rival also got killed, and a whole bunch of, because they had been in a little bit of a gang war while he was in Colombian jail. A whole bunch of other people died too. So like that definitely leaves a huge power vacuum. We have no idea who filled it, but
yeah, probably definitely cut a deal at some point. They're like, hey, we need information on XYZ. Give us that information and we'll let you out on like informant terms or something.
Yeah.
Like, I bet. Shoot.
And in watching this show and like trying to like find out what other people were saying about it, I found that there had been a couple of books written by these women, by some women who have been, linked to these drug dealers. So maybe I'll add those to the reading list, or maybe just one of them. Well, I'll add one and then see where it goes. See how I like it.
Have you seen or heard the drama around that movie Amelia Perez?
No, what's that?
Who, child? Okay, so Amelia Perez is getting a whole bunch. It's a Netflix movie actually, so you can watch it if you want it. From what I'm hearing, you're not gonna want to, but it's getting a whole bunch of like Oscar nominations and stuff. But I'm not even Mexican. Well, yeah, I think it's supposed to take place in like Mexico City, about a former drug lord who, and I'm not sure their full intention with this, but to get out of being a drug lord, they have a sex change operation. Now, I don't know, from what I've heard story-wise, if this was because they always wanted to be a woman and this was their chance to live their life as a woman and get out of the drug game, or just a ploy for them to get out of the drug game and fake their death. But either way, they become a woman, live their life as a woman, and was like trying to reunite with their wife and their kids under the pretext of like, oh, I'm a lost cousin or some shit. It's a lot of bullshit. Yeah. Oh, did I mention it's a musical?
I hate
There's
this.
a
I hate all of this.
there's a song sequence where they're talking about how would you do the sex change, and one of the lines is literally penis to vagina. And it's like, it's talking singing. Like, it's not even like Chicago levels of like actual performing singing. It is, I'm talking like this and we're gonna do this. Da, da. Yeah. And so of course you got folks in the transgender community that's pissed about this. The Spanish speaking community is especially pissed off because no one can speak Spanish. Like, they're speaking they're speaking Spanish, but actual Spanish speakers that are watching the movie are like, that's not correct Spanish. Why do they sound like that? Why are they using these words? They didn't even film in Mexico City. Why'd I do that? They didn't even pose in they didn't even film in Mexico City. They filmed in like France or something. What was another issue they brought up? Okay, no one could really speak Spanish. They were kind of making light of the whole like drug cartel in Mexico. Like, that was another point that really hit with folks from Mexico who have lived through it or have seen it and just know the history with it. They felt like it was handled very poorly. And like, the director has gone on record, he's like a French guy, has gone on record saying like, yeah, I didn't really put much research into Spanish culture when making this. And it's got all these Oscar nominations, Best Picture. Now, from what I hear, Zoe Saldana is in the movie, and everyone who sees the movie is like, Zoe Saldana's good. She got a nomination for like, I think, Best Actress or Best Supporting. So they're like, I can't be mad at that. I'm just mad at all the other shit this movie's getting nominated for because it don't deserve it at all. And people are they're comparing it to like The Green Book or Crash, like those movies from former years of Oscar nominations that just have certain minority groups featured in the movie, and these Oscar voters are just like, oh, I'm woke, I'm with the people and the times, I'm gonna nominate this movie for all these things because it features trans people or black people. And it's, ooh, no. Now, I saw Crash. I will say I didn't hate Crash. I don't think it deserved any Oscars. Like, it was fine. You know, it was trying to tell some stories of like racial tensions and stuff. Could have been better, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't like, it didn't need to be nominated for anything, I don't think. The Green Book, I did not see, but I
saw
know.
Crash. I saw it while I was sober. I don't remember it.
I remember a lot of racial tension in
I didn't see The Green Book.
Ludacris was in it.
Yeah, I remember Ludacris and Lorenz Tate were in it.
Yeah.
And Touch Me on the Inside and Call My Name. What's her name? Tandy Newton? Yes.
Touch Me on the Inside.
That's what she says in Beloved, which is I told you about how it was around Halloween and somebody asked me what's the scariest movie I've ever seen. And I said Beloved. And he just looked at me like I was a fucking weirdo. And I was like, there's a pregnant ghost baby screaming in a doorway, and then I think she disappears. Like,
oh God. I don't know why that hurt me to hear. Touch me on the inside. Okay.
That's what she says to her mother's boyfriend.
Oh no.
Yeah, when she's trying to have sex with him.
Oh no. Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah. Beloved is a lot. The book is a lot too.
Okay.
Yes, Fatima loves that weird ass movie. Yes, and you know what? That was my introduction to anything Toni Morrison. Hadn't read The Bluest Eye, hadn't read Song of Solomon or Sula or any of those books, but the fact that Beloved, like I've seen scary movies. My mother has dragged me along to scary movies in the movie theater since I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
The only movie that has ever given me a nightmare
It's Beloved.
is Beloved, and it gave my mother a nightmare too. We talked about it the next day, like, hey.
I mean, like, I think the most potent horror movies are the ones that aren't necessarily like slashers and monsters. It's the psychological
I think
shit
they
where it's
didn't intend
like,
for that to be a horror movie.
that makes it even scarier.
Yeah.
But it resonates. Like I like when a movie can leave you with an emotion that just sticks with you.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty
that
like
one sticks.
Like American Psycho. That's probably not supposed to be a horror either. It's supposed to be like a psychological thriller, but that shit looks horrifying.
Wow, that shit look like Gavin Newsom.
Man, also, I was watching a review of American Psycho, and I noticed one of the posters in Patrick Bates' house is in my office. It's part of like a series of photos of like stressed out exec people, and I was like, why does this look familiar? Because it's fucking in the hallway of my
Your
office.
boss gonna kill y'all.
We literally, it's the man that's stressed out, and I think there's like 3 other ones, and my office has the complete series. I'm gonna take a picture next time I'm in the office, but I was like, oh my god, we have the same art as that crazy ass nigga Patrick Bates. Oh man, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Mike, run the tape back. What are we talking about? We've been on a whole.
Why did I get on the subject of Beloved? I don't know.
Horror movies, but oh yes, Amelia Perez.
Because we were talking about Crash and Tandy.
Yeah,
and Crash, and she also plays the role of the ghost baby in Beloved.
So Amelia Perez not resonating well with actual people who have any kind of connection with what the topic's supposed to be.
Zoe Saldana strikes again.
She's the only one in the movie that's like that people are giving a pass for. She's the only one that people are giving a pass for because
I don't care. She did Nina. She did that movie, and I know she's apologized for it, but it looks like she fucked up again. So
yeah, she definitely seems to have a habit of being a part of movies of controversy.
Can she not read a script? Can she not like think?
That's what I wonder too, because like, and this is not just on her, but like other actors who end up in movies that are like clearly going to be bad. It's like I wonder if they're like stuck in a contract where it's like they didn't even get to read the script before they were already signed on to do it, and now they're stuck. Because I know Halle Berry has spoke out about that with like Catwoman.
What?
Where
I liked Catwoman. I don't care. I don't care what people say. I like it.
It's very campy for sure, but like at the time, and even today,
I liked it at the time. I didn't understand what everybody had their panties in a twist about, but I hate Batman, so maybe that's
It's the Batman fans, it's the comic fans, you know, because this Halle Berry's Catwoman isn't even Selena Kyle, the Catwoman from Batman media. Like she's her own different thing. Her origin, her name. She's just Catwoman in name. There's no mention of Batman.
I like that weird. I like that weird CGI basketball thing.
They're not in Gotham. There's no mention of Batman. Like she's literally just.
We just get another black Catwoman like we had with Eartha Kitt. Like
all she is, the only similarity she has to the Catwoman of lore is that they both steal. They're cat thieves. They're cat burglars, and they're women. That is the only similarity between Halle Berry's Catwoman and the Catwoman from the comics.
And that's all I ever cared about. So it was a good movie to me.
Right. Look, I'm not knocking anyone who likes Catwoman.
Also,
because I like I like the Schumacher Batmans, and everybody fucking hates the Schumacher Batmans. I fucking love the Schumacher Batmans for all the reasons why folks
Which
hate
ones
it.
are they? Are those the ones that have Jack Nicholson as the Joker?
Yes. No, not Jack Nicholson as the no. That's the one with Jim Carrey as
the Riddler.
The Riddler and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Okay, I don't even if
They're
I
so
saw
good.
that, I forgot it.
And the Batman suits have nipples. It's so good. It is so fucking dumb. Like they do a whole like suit up. They do the suit up scene, and they show him like putting on his gauntlets and putting on his boots, and then they turn around and you just see like sculpted bat butt, and you turn around and you see sculpted chest with nipples.
I liked Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman also.
It's so good. Oh, Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin. Like it's so dumb.
I think I saw that and forgot it.
Well, I loved it. I think it was a sexual awakening for me as a kid. No lie. Like I remember watching it like my friends.
I think I saw that and forgot it just because it had Jim Carrey in the movie. And I don't think I like Jim Carrey. I don't think I like him.
Jim Carrey is one of those actors, especially when he's doing his slapstick stuff. You're either gonna love it or hate it.
I know other people love it. I just, the whole time he's doing it, I'm waiting for it to end. But you know what I do love? I love him in The Truman Show. The Truman Show.
Is he a little more subdued in that one? I don't remember watching The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. And he's done dramas before too. Was it?
Those weren't. Most of them weren't good.
Was that him?
I didn't see. No, that wasn't him. I think that was a Gladiator.
Oh no, that wasn't. Yeah, no, that wasn't A Beautiful Mind. It was something else that had to do with like.
There was like one
Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. But no, in Batman, and mind you, I watched the Schumacher Batman movies when I was like what, fucking 10, probably younger. It was like a cartoon with live action people. I loved it. In Bat Butt, I shouldn't like butt, but I like butt. I don't know, something about the butt. It was doing something for me. The butt was doing something for me. There was a lot of butt in the early 2000s. That just we'll talk to that to my therapy. But I say that to say, I don't even know why I say that to say. just saying, like you can Oscars. Yes, Oscars. So going back to Halle Berry and Catwoman, people panned Catwoman, you loved it. People panned Schumacher's Batman, I loved it. But Halle Berry, so Catwoman had gotten a bunch of Razzie awards, right? And this was like off the tail of her actually getting an Oscar.
Yeah, but it was for Monsters Ball.
Yeah. Either way, she had an Oscar. So when she went, she's one of the few actors that actually went to the Razzie Awards and was like, you know, laughing at herself. Like, yeah, I did Catwoman, but guess what, bitch? I also have an Oscar, so I can act. Don't get it twisted. Okay. Like, she came onto the stage with her Oscar in one hand, reenacting her reaction to winning the Oscar, to winning this Razzie, and just poking fun at the whole thing of like, yeah, I realized that a lot of people didn't like certain aspects. Being on set, I didn't understand half the stuff that the director was saying. And I chewed out my manager for not reading the script before handing them off to me. Like, again, she's a good sport about it. But yeah. So Oscar nominations are
meaningless to me.
They really are. To the general public, it's just a way for us to just argue about what was a good movie.
if a movie wins an Oscar, I will know that it exists.
That too. For the general public is either alerting you that these movies came out, it might be worth watching, or if you're already a cinephile, just more discussion bait. Yeah. But for the actors and the production companies, this is also a way for them to get more money.
Right.
Like, you now have to refer to me henceforth Oscar nominated XYZ. I'm putting that on my resume, whether I win or not. Oscar nominated is going to put a boost on my contract demands.
But if nobody's getting slapped, is anybody still watching the Oscars?
Yeah, I don't think I watched. I don't think I've watched the Oscars since the slap.
I wasn't watching it. I only watched the slap, and before that, the last time before that I had watched the Oscars was the year that Wall-E was nominated. I forget
God
even
damn.
who won. Yeah.
It was so funny watching the watching Will Smith slap oh boy. we were doing Blurred Dot Radio at the time. Like, we were recording, and I had the Oscars playing on a separate tab as we were recording, and I had looked over and saw it happen live. I was like, yo, guys, Will Smith just slapped old boy on stage. They're like, what? I mean, no, he just slapped him. He's going off on him. I was like so blown to have seen something like that live, because usually that's the kind of shit that I see in clips.
But isn't that crazy? Like, the dude who made a hair documentary on Black women and their relationship to their hair gets slapped over a Black woman's hair joke. Like, it's...
And I forget what the joke was in. Oh, he was saying
it was a G.I. Jane joke. It was a G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane. G.I. Joan.
I love that movie. I thought she looked great with the shaved head.
Yeah.
But considering that Jada Pinkett did not shave her head out of a fashion choice, like, this isn't like Cynthia Erivo. Like, if this was a joke at Cynthia Erivo, and this is me not knowing if maybe Cynthia Erivo was going through the same stuff as Jada Pinkett with alopecia and all that. If this is just a fashion choice for her, then you can make that joke. But considering this was a health thing for her and something that she seemed to like just be getting comfortable with being bald like that, it was insensitive. And I don't know how much he knew of the context of her hair being cut short. If he knew the context and he still made that joke, yeah, that was in poor taste. But he probably did it. Yeah. So that made the slap even more egregious. It was like, yo, dude, not in front of the white people. Don't do that.
Well, who cares if they're there? Who cares?
I know, but
it shouldn't have happened because adults shouldn't have.
I know it happened,
but,
period. But like, the added dose. God damn it! Not in front of the other cultures. Stop airing out our dirty laundry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Oscars are often like, you can always almost tell which Oscar nominations is on some bullshit. You're like, okay, yeah, y'all ain't actually watched that movie. Y'all just read the cliff notes and said, yeah, this sounds good. Why not?
I only watched Parasite because it won an Oscar. Because
I saw Parasite before.
I had not been hearing anything about it, but I was deep into like defending my dissertation at that point. Yeah. I was wrapping up my PhD. So I wasn't going to a movie theater to watch shit.
Again, if you're not big into movies, and I mean, you like movies, but like cinephile level into movies, when Parasite first came out, you would not have really known. They weren't advertising it. It was in limited theaters. I think I only knew about it because I watch a lot of movie review YouTubers anyway. And I was like, no, let me check it out.
And also I don't watch, at that point, I wasn't watching. No, I don't think I've ever paid for like just cable. I paid for cable once and it was a scam. It was like mostly, like, Mike might remember that. It was mostly Static and Telemundo, and then it's just kind of like, all right, well, back to streaming. And what I stream is Netflix, Hulu, and Viki. Like, that's it.
I mean, that's all you really need.
Yeah.
But oh, what the fuck did I just
Yes,
do?
barely, but yes, barely, because we never got to use it because it's like most of these channels are just static. This is a scam.
I mean, because most channels have moved to streaming.
Right. And they're
Everything
trying to
on
make
demand.
you pay for a new subscription. It's just kind of like, no, something's getting cut.
The only people that have cable are my grandparents.
Yep.
They're the only ones, and I think part of it is because my nana
Yes.
has gotten
Mike
into
said
sports.
staticky Univision was a thing for like one night. Yep. Because I called him the next day. It was just kind of like, no thanks. Whatever I agreed to, take it back. We don't need it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna like pay for like, well, if you want clear channels, then you pay this much more a month. No, give me
Hell
less.
no.
Give
That's
me
some
nothing.
bullshit. For all that, I could just go to the Univision website and probably watch shit live on their website or
Right.
download their app.
Right.
Everything's a fucking scam in this goddamn country, God.
Oh, it's about to get worse. It is getting worse by the day. All those
Incrementally, yeah.
fucking executive orders.
Oh god.
Chaos is reigning supreme already.
I'm just trying to take it in as best I can.
I know, I'm trying to control my stress and emotions and
Yeah, I'm
figure
not
out
watching the news every goddamn day. I watch it like maybe every other day. Like if I see a topic come up enough times, I'm like, all right, let me hear what is actually going on with this shit now. What is going on? Who do I need to write to? What do I need to vote for in the next election? Like what can I do at this point? Because some stuff you can't actually do. You can be made aware of what's being put into action. But until it's actually like up to a vote or actually being implemented, there's not too much I can do other than just be informed of what's coming.
Yeah. Ugh. But Gulf of America, what the fuck?
Nigga, so dumb. That don't even sound good.
We all know it's Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to be the Gulf of Mexico.
Mama called the Gulf of Mexico. I'm gonna call the Gulf of Mexico. But no, kidding. Not me. Not me. Dead naming people, but it's not a people. It's a fucking part
dead
of the
naming a body of water.
It's one of those things where like it's so annoying because it's another one of those American things where the rest of the world is doing things one way, and America is doing it in a way that has the rest of the world like, why the fuck are you doing it that way? Why aren't you using yards? Why aren't you using centimeters? Why aren't you using Celsius? Why aren't you calling soccer football?
Because
even the way we use our dates, the numbering of how we do the date, where it's how does America do it? Month, day, year.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we're the only ones that do that. Everybody else does year, month, day, and I think in Asian countries it's year, day, month. But we're the only ones that do day.
You're kind of making the case for the Gulf of America. Like
how what
because you're saying that we do things differently here for no reason, and this is just another one of them.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It is another one of those America just doing shit because they want to be different, and the rest of the country is looking at you like, what? Why? We're not going to do that. Like, you can do that if you want. You can refer to it like that if you want. But us over here, we're still using Celsius. Okay? We're still gonna date this way. Oh, God.
That is such a pain in the ass for spreadsheets.
Because it's not going to be on any fucking maps.
When you're getting data from other countries. Yeah. Like, what day do they actually mean?
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, especially when you have like a single digit day.
And to be fair,
and you're like, did this happen on November 1st?
oh
or
yeah,
January 11th?
right? Yeah, that'd be getting confusing sometimes. And honestly,
And then you're like looking for context clues in the rest of the data, and
I'm guilty of that, honestly. I'll do month, day, year, and then other times I do year, month, day.
Yeah, having
now I'm
to
confusing myself. How do I date my
any
shit?
data entry, any kind of like data entry task, you have to like get all stakeholders involved and say like, let's get it straight on how we are going to enter dates.
Yeah, for sure. Because like if it's just me doing shit, like if I have to send off links daily, and so oftentimes I do it as year, month, day, and then sometimes military time of when that posting was. But when it's just, if it's something shorthand that I just need as a recollection for myself, then I might just do the month and the year. So it'll be like 01/25 or 2025, depending on who might need to look at this after me. If it's just me, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But for everybody else, I try to make it as clear as possible. But if I'm not thinking about it, I will just go back and forth just because I don't fucking care that much.
No.
But it's for me. I don't care for me because I'm gonna understand it. But like when I have to be cognizant of somebody else is going to need to refer to this,
I say no only because like I'm like a social scientist and I will go back to some old data, and if I did not like leave breadcrumbs for myself, like write I forget what they call it, but they call write a code book to say like what specifically like a separate spreadsheet to say like what everything in this next spreadsheet is and what every color coding means. I will go back and look at some old data and be like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, I'm looking at my emails now. And in my emails, I'll date things as like month, day, year, but then the link will be year, month, day.
Yeah.
I can't even justify that. I don't know. Like I said, I go back and forth, but like, ain't nobody really looking at how I name it on the link. But in your email, when you're looking at like a header, come on, you see that it's January because the one's first, and no one's really called me out on it, so it's whatever the fuck. It makes it easy for searching in your emails. Anyway. So you got anything planned for the year? I say the year, the week.
For the week? Yeah. No, I'm working on some stuff with Trevor. So with his company, he's actually making some sales lately. So trying to work on some stuff with him because he has customers now. I want to like just survey his customers.
I keep forgetting that your brother is also an adult like myself. I don't know why in my head he's just like a 15-year-old little brother eating your snacks.
Because he's both. he's a grown-ass man, sure. But in my eyes, he is always going to be like an annoying little brother.
Oh yeah, both my brothers are taller than me,
wanting to snatch my snacks. That's what men do. Men come around and snatch your snacks and break your things.
We don't do the same.
Trevor never has anything I want.
Oh god.
So it really does only go one way.
Okay, well, in your house anyway. I will be stealing my brother's food sometime. and dare them to do something, which they will. They'll then try to bully me because they're taller than me. But yeah, that's siblings for you. It's like,
Yeah, my brother's
it don't
taller
matter
than me,
how
but
big
he
they
still knows that
get.
I can like kick him in the head. So like,
Don't matter how big they get, how much body hair they grow, how big their beard is. He's still baby to me.
yeah, he saw me putting on my shoes, and also he tries to like go wherever I'm going. So like, he saw me putting on my shoes. He's like, "Where you going?" And I was like, "I'm going over there to the treadmill, Trevor." He was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Oh, look at him imprinting on you. He's like, I want to come.
Yeah,
Mom says I have to come with you.
It's either I want to come or like, can you get me some snacks while you're out?
I don't think I ever bring my siblings back any snacks.
I do when I'm out and I see stuff that he likes, like stuff that like is not available everywhere, such as cotton candy, because he loves cotton candy. Or if there's like a new flavor of cotton candy, then I get him some, and I just like go to whatever room he's in
I
and
did
throw it at him and say like, "Don't say I never brought you nothing."
This exclusive Mountain Dew for my brother. I did get an extra bottle of Mountain Dew for my brother, but I've yet to like actually give it to him. And I just bought him another keychain. I bought him a keychain of one of his favorite characters over the weekend, just because it was like buy 4 get 1 free. So it was like, I bet. I know he likes this character and it'll be free. Now I just don't know when I'm ever going to see him to give him the keychain and the Mountain Dew, because he's always working. Like I went last weekend pass to see my grandfather for his birthday, and my brother had to work like the whole weekend. He works like late into the night and comes home early in the morning, and then he sleeps all day, then he goes back to work. So I didn't even really get to hang out with him. Being an adult sucks. Yeah,
sucks ass.
Yeah, 10/10 would not recommend.
But also being a child sucks too, because then you don't have any agency.
But you don't know it sucks.
I did. I knew.
At what age did you realize being a kid sucks?
Well, listen, the minute I had to go to fucking school, which is
that's most children. What do you mean I have to go back every day?
Every day. I didn't like the first day. Like, how long is she gonna talk for? And then she asked me some questions about what the fuck she was talking about. I don't know. I was just waiting for you to stop.
That's fair. I mean, I don't remember hating school. I hated math. Fuck that class.
Yeah, but also I had undiagnosed ADHD the whole time. So
that too.
Yeah.
Well, I say I didn't have that, but like I understand how school, for those who don't know why their brain can't concentrate on the thing.
I'm bored. I'm trapped here. I was spacing out. I missed something that you said, and now I'm completely lost. You're mad at me for reasons I don't understand. Now you've made me sit by myself by a window. And so I'm staring out. I'm really not paying attention to you, because like I'm staring out, looking at this tree and wondering what it's like to be a tree, and wondering like what's keeping me here. Like if I just walked away confidently enough, like how many steps would I get before somebody would stop me? Would they even stop me? I know the way home. I walk here every day. I could just walk the fuck back. I could walk back right now. And then it was like, she calls on me and I'm like, what?
And it's like it annoys me when some of those teachers like they just are on some like power trip about it all. Like, how dare you not be listening and hanging on to every word that I say?
You are boring, and
I don't care. I remember being in one teacher's class in particular, and I had a habit of just rubbing my eyebrows. Like I don't know why, but like I would just run my finger across my eyebrows, like just kind of feeling his arch, just laying my hairs down in that arch, and I would just do that. I'm listening to what's going on around me. I'm just not looking at you. I'm looking off into space, rubbing my eyebrows, and she gonna yell at me, "Stop playing with your eyebrows!" I'm like, "What, bitch? I'm listening. Why are you looking at me rubbing at my eyebrows? Talk to the class. If I'm that one student that doesn't look like they're paying attention, why are you gonna interrupt those who are learning to call me out? You could pull me to the side later, or maybe call on me when you're asking a question about the subject if you think I'm not paying attention, to snap me back into attention and watch me get the answer right, bitch, because I was listening. You ever think that maybe me playing with my eyebrows is keeping me focused on what you saying? Like a fidget toy on my face?
Yeah. Like I said, being a kid isn't fun either.
It's not fun once you have
And
to
then,
start going to school.
and then you don't just get to go home. They give you homework.
Homework that sometimes even your parents don't know how to help you with.
Hate it.
I remember breaking down trying to do cursive. I could not do a cursive D to save my life.
And now it doesn't matter.
And now it
does
doesn't
not matter.
You know what also
they put you through all of that emotional turmoil, and I don't know what
never had to use it. Never had to use it. Outside of like what was it, middle school? No, elementary school, I think is when we learned cursive. And then I think maybe in 7th or 6th grade, there were some essays I had to do in cursive. But I guarantee you, by the time I got to high school, everything was fucking typed. They didn't want handwritten nothing.
But here's the thing. So they told us in elementary school, we need to learn cursive because cursive will be required in middle school. We got to middle school.
That shit was required for like 1 year.
It wasn't at all. And this is all in the same school system. You would think they talk to each other. They don't. But then, like, went through so much of my life without needing cursive. And then I get to be 30 years old and I'm taking the psych GRE. And before they let you in to the testing room, they make you write a paragraph. They make you copy a paragraph in cursive. I don't know what the fuck it's for, but they make you do that. And now I'm sitting here like, do I remember how to make every letter in cursive?
I think I do. One of the things they also said too is like, oh, your signature has to be in cursive.
Oh yeah,
my signature is not in cursive.
My signature is in cursive. My signature is exactly the same, but my signature is unreadable.
That's the point.
But I've been yelled at because it was unreadable.
But it's mine. I bet you can't replicate it.
But I was only like, I was yelled at by a power tripping cashier.
Bitch, it don't matter. The point is that this is something that other people can't replicate.
Right. That's what I had to tell her. And she had a line of people and she was like, well, write it again. And I was like, okay, I'm going to write it exactly the same.
Because it's my signature and that's the point, so that it can't be replicated by anybody else. My signature doesn't even use cursive letters anymore. The only aspect of it is that some of the letters connect to each other just by virtue of me not lifting my pen up when I write the next letter. My mom's signature used to get on my nerve because she doesn't even spell out her whole name. She'll just do like Les, the first 3 letters of her first name, and the last letter of her married name, which in both instances have been a D. When I tell you her cursive L don't even look like the fucking cursive L, the cursive L looks like an elegant, fancy, regular L with a little whoop-de-whoop at the top and the bottom. Hers looks like a jelly bean. I'm like, how did this evolve to that? It's like it's like the first loop-de-loop of a cursive L just became the entire letter for her. There was no forging signatures of my mom's on anything because that shit didn't make sense. This shit still irritates me to this day. Don't even look like the fucking letter. But You know, it might become like fucking what's that other dead language? I was gonna say not ramen. That's a food. That one. The dead language of ramen. Sanskrit, that too. Sanskrit, hieroglyphics, Latin, and cursive.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've heard people like talk about how we need cursive for signatures, but signatures are electronic now. You can even buy a house like mostly through electronic signatures. But also I guess like this younger generation can't sign their name. And so we're back to
shoot, they probably can't spell their name.
They write a big X like what people used to do when they were illiterate.
Because they are.
Have you ever heard somebody say like make your mark, like your special way of making an X?
Sign your John Hancock. Yeah, these kids are illiterate. That was like one of the first things we were taught was spelling your name. That's why it's like make sure you spell your kid's name in a way that can be easy for them. You over here spelling them something.
Oh, nobody thought about that with me.
Oh no, your name's not that hard. What is it? PHA.
It's 3 syllables. It's 3 syllables.
Oh, but you got that PH instead of an F situation.
No, I have an F. This is how I was being cute.
Bad. Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Somebody is laughing at you.
I was thinking that would be so hard for a child. Like you already start me out on that bullshit of PH makes the first sound like an F. Well, I say that, and my brother's name is Philip. So he's the only Black Philip I know outside of Fresh Prince. I've never met another Black Philip.
Huh.
Oh, and then there's the goat from that one movie. What is the Vitch?
Black Phillip. That's a goat.
Phillip.
He's not African American.
I know, but that's the only other Black Phillip I know. The only Black Phillips I know is my brother, Uncle Phil, and Black Phillip, the cursed
devil.
I've been meaning to find that Funko for my brother, just because it's Black Phillip. Anyway, well, we should probably wrap things up. You've got a family of 3 to feed.
I count 4.
Oh, sure, yeah, but you'll definitely eat what you cook. If you make any more hamburger helper and cake without icing on all the sides, your family's gonna riot.
Yes. I've been keeping them happy lately.
Okay, yeah, you get to live another day.
Yes.
Well, let's keep that streak going.
Yeah.
I've been Ash.
And I've been Fatima.
And this has been Fatash.
Bye.
Bye.